Hi there, this is Carolyn Ellis from Brilliance Mastery, and I have created this short video presentation to explain to you about drawing conversation. As a graphic recorder and graphic facilitator, this is what I do with my clients. I draw conversations in real time. And whether it's recording at an important meeting or a live event to get the key points out in a visual format for people, or if I'm working with a company who's interested in doing a strategic planning exercise or helping to improve their team's performance, making conversation visual and really being able to put it in people's hands has a huge impact. So in this brief video, I'm going to explain to you why making conversations visual is so important. It helps you engage your teams, navigate change, and it improves your ability to communicate with each other clearly and execute and get results. So the first thing I think is so fantastic about drawing conversations out is it really sparks a lot of creativity. People are so tired of being PowerPointed to death, and keeping people's attention is harder and harder to do. Even in the boardroom table, just check out how many people are actually, secretly texting underneath that table instead of really listening and being engaged and contributing their best ideas. When you draw these conversations out in real time, people don't feel like they're being buried in minutes or underneath presentation decks. They are seeing their conversation captured, and it just activates both sides of the brain in a really cool way. It just naturally sparks people's creativity. It helps them gain a new perspective on issues, and they start to see connections that they weren't perhaps getting before. Even better is when it is up there on a wall for people to see. It helps them to build on other people's ideas and really create some powerful synergies when it comes to getting new ideas and finding solutions. Another thing I think is so powerful about this is that it really promotes deep listening. So when I'm drawing in a room, it's very visual. People are just naturally curious. So they are paying attention. You can't help but pay attention. It's so hard to tune out somebody who's got a whole bunch of colorful markers and they're making all these drawings and summations on the wall while you're speaking. It's a way for people to slow down enough to listen deeply, stay present, and make meaning of what they're hearing and what they want to contribute to the conversation. Very, very powerful. When you're making conversations visual like this, it also helps to really pinpoint what are the key issues. Sometimes this is a problem, and it helps to get a specific clarity, because if you can't explain it, I can't draw it. So by asking clarifying questions, from really getting to the heart of the matter and pinpointing what is at the crux of the issue, can help really make sure that you're actually trying to solve the right problems. Related to that is the ability of clarifying issues. What are we really talking about? So often in our organizations, we are so busy reacting to issues that really are actually at the tip of the iceberg. And when you take the time to sink down and listen more deeply, go deeper, what are some of the underlying issues below the surface of the water that you might not be paying attention to? When we draw and work together visually, it really helps to get below the superficial issues and to clarify issues. Where are there opportunities that we might be missing? Where are there challenges that we weren't aware of? Where might there be gaps? How can we build agreement? Where are we lacking agreement? And let's explore that a little bit more deeply. All of this gets really clarified when you're seeing it drawn in a visual map. The other element that's very different when you work visually and draw conversations out like this is what it does to the dynamics in a team. The most nimble and successful companies now are not operating on a top-down hierarchy. To really get the best out of your people and to be able to retain and attract the best, you want to make sure that there's not really strict, rigid hierarchies in place. You want to ensure that your processes of working together as a team are collaborative so that you really involve people. And what's really cool about graphic recording and graphic facilitation is every voice counts. So whether you're the top dog or the person at the front desk, every voice matters. And when people see their voice matters and they see their ideas and their questions being captured visually, it promotes a different level of buy-in from them. It promotes more teamwork. So lack of hierarchy is definitely something that this way of working with people supports. The other thing that's very neat about this is you get to see the whole picture. Why? Because it is literally being drawn out in front of you based on what you say. This is a big challenge, isn't it, when you're working with a lot of different people, is to get them all working in the same direction, get everybody on the same page. When you're drawing conversations, you literally see the page being drawn in front of your eyes, and that's why it's so powerful. Great ideas are wonderful, but if you don't execute them, if you fall down in the implementation phase, if there's no accountability for who's doing what by when, this is where great ideas fall flat and companies don't get the results that they were hoping to get. When you work visually, you have a visual record of the whole conversation. When people see it either on a screensaver or posted in an office or even as a PDF handout, they have a visual artifact. It naturally connects people back to that experience of the team meeting and helps to keep the conversations and commitment to action alive well after the meeting is over. And what's the end result of all this? More engagement in our teams, right? Without engagement in our teams, it's hugely costly for companies. Higher turnover, hard to attract top talent, hard to keep the great talent that you have. So when you engage your team in this, it can be a very, very powerful tool to really synergizing and taking your company and its vision to that next level of success. So there you have it, the power of drawing conversation. For more information, please feel free to visit me at brilliancemastery.com.